Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel, where we always strive to bring you the deepest insights into the machinations and dramas unfolding within the gilded cages of the British royal family. Today, we are focusing on a figure who has long been synonymous with controversy, resilience, and, most recently, profound reputational damage. Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York. The atmosphere surrounding the palace, particularly Windsor, is currently thick with apprehension, as reports suggest that Fergie, at 66 years old, is standing at a precipice, contemplating a move that could potentially unleash chaos and cause deep embarrassment for the newly established reign of King Charles III. She is reportedly poised to take a monumental leap, one eerily similar to the path chosen by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, several years ago. Before we delve into the extraordinary details of the significant six-figure offers that are now laid out before her, and the high-stakes gamble this represents, please take a moment to show your support. If you appreciate this detailed look into the royal world, do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement ensures we can continue to bring you these exhaustive reports. The situation facing Sarah Ferguson is dire, and the choices she makes in the coming weeks are being described by royal commentators as make or break. The core of the current crisis stems from a deeply painful and public stripping of her royal honor and the essential title of Duchess of York. For decades, Fergie has navigated the treacherous waters of royal life, enduring numerous scandals, public scrutiny, and financial woes. Yet through it all, she maintained a complicated, if often strained, relationship with the institution she married into. However, the connection that proved most fatally wounding, the association that appears to have finally broken her standing, is her disastrous link to the late convicted pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. The consequences of this association have been swift and brutal. The former Duchess was recently removed from several charitable organizations, a crucial lifeline for her public persona and income, due to the sustained damage inflicted by the Epstein connection. This removal necessitated the removal of her title, prompting a forced stepping back from any remaining public duties, ostensibly to avoid further intense media scrutiny and sensational headlines. Crucially, the palace fears that this painful repudiation, this loss of reputation among the public and the family alike, has pushed the 66-year-old into a corner where she feels she has nothing left to lose. Royal aides are now reportedly operating under the grim assumption that she could go rogue. This is where the comparison to Meghan Markle becomes strikingly relevant. The Duchess of Sussex, alongside Prince Harry, famously sat down for a bombshell interview with the iconic American television presenter, Oprah Winfrey, in 2020. This televised chat occurred just months after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex took their definitive leap, relocating to the United States to embrace a new chapter entirely independent of the rigid constraints of royal life. It is highly significant that Sarah Ferguson has history with Oprah Winfrey. She has sat down with the media mogul before, giving a wide-ranging interview that offered glimpses into her life and struggles years ago. Now, insiders suggest that a second, far more explosive meeting with Winfrey is a distinct possibility, representing the ultimate nuclear option for someone desperate to control her narrative. A source confided to The Sun, highlighting the rising anxiety within the royal household. There's a danger of her going rogue and saying things that could cause embarrassment for King Charles and Queen Camilla or other members of the family. The fear is palpable. Having been cast out, there is little leverage the palace holds to enforce silence. As the source bluntly put it, the royals are concerned about the prospect of Ferguson stepping out of the box, but there's not much they can do to stop her. The monetary stakes supporting this potential betrayal are immense. Reports confirm that significant bids for an exclusive televised interview have already been tabled. These offers aren't confined to local media. They emanate from powerful US channels, which are known for paying astronomical sums for royal scoops, alongside serious discussions with networks in the Gulf states and even within the UK. The price tag attached to her story, given her unique position and the radioactive nature of her recent history, is firmly in the six-figure territory. To understand the depth of Fergie's desperation and the motivation behind this potential tell-all, we must return to the specifics of the Epstein scandal. The former Duchess had previously attempted to manage the fallout, In communication issued several years ago, she offered an apology for publicly dissociating from the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, following his high-profile conviction in 2008 for the horrific crime of trafficking an underage girl. This apology was an attempt to distance herself from the scandal, but it appears to have been insufficient to satisfy either the public or the palace. The stains of that association have lingered, ultimately leading to her current precarious standing. Now, according to those close to her, Ferguson views this potential interview as the ultimate opportunity to seize control of her narrative and define her legacy, rather than allowing the media and the palace to define her by her mistakes. An insider claimed that Ferguson has indeed received offers from all over the world and is currently thinking things over very carefully, weighing the immense risks against the potential for financial stability and, crucially, reputational redemption. The source stressed that Fergie is acutely aware that a televised interview of this magnitude would be make or break in terms of salvaging what remains of her public standing. For her, the priority is clear. It would give her the vital chance to spell out the fact she knew nothing about the specific criminal activities of Epstein. She is reportedly keen to answer questions because she genuinely believes she has been harshly treated by the institution and the public in the wake of the scandal. As the mother of Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, who remain working members of the extended royal family, the pressure on Sarah Ferguson is not just personal or financial, it is dynastic. Any revelations she makes will undoubtedly reverberate through the lives of her daughters, adding an extra layer of complexity to her decision. If the prospect of a tell-all interview is terrifying the palace, the memory of a previous royal interview disaster is haunting Sarah Ferguson's own representatives. There is a desperate effort on the part of her team to avoid what they term a mateless scenario. This refers, of course, to the globally scrutinized and utterly disastrous interview given by her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, in 2019. Andrew sat down with seasoned journalist Emily Maitlis on the BBC's Newsnight program to address his own connections to Jeffrey Epstein and the allegations made against him. The interview was widely regarded as a catastrophic failure of judgment, strategy, and public relations, cementing his downfall from royal life. The ghost of that 2019 debacle looms large. Andrew's representatives allowed him to believe he could talk his way out of an impossible situation, resulting in a performance that lacked empathy and failed to convince the public of his innocence. Sarah Ferguson's team understands that the stakes are even higher for her, given her current total loss of institutional support. However, sources close to the former Duchess argue that her situation is fundamentally different from Andrew's. Andrew has had his chances to tell his story. Now it's Fergie's time, one insider asserted. This suggests a belief that while Andrew failed to offer a convincing account, Fergie, armed with a carefully crafted narrative and a powerful interviewer, might succeed where he failed. By focusing squarely on her alleged ignorance regarding Epstein's crimes and presenting herself as a victim of circumstance and association. The urgency driving Sarah Ferguson's decision is compounded by immediate, tangible financial and residential pressures. It is a well-known, if often peculiar, detail of royal life that Ferguson and Prince Andrew, despite divorcing over 30 years ago, have continued to share a residence. They reside together at the sprawling 30-room royal lodge situated within the prestigious confines of Windsor Great Park. However, this arrangement is rapidly coming to an end. It has been confirmed that Andrew, and by extension, his ex-wife, must vacate the royal lodge by the end of January. This impending deadline adds an enormous layer of immediate financial stress. Losing the security and luxury of this royal residence means that both Andrew and Sarah Ferguson must secure new, independent living arrangements, and, critically, the income streams to support them. For Sarah Ferguson, the need for a major financial infusion, the six-figure sum offered for the tell-all, is more acute than ever. Her ability to generate income through her established career as an author has also recently suffered a devastating blow, illustrating the profound depth of her current crisis. The former Duchess is known to have authored several books over the years, including children's stories. However, there has recently been a deafening silence from both her and her publishers regarding her future literary projects. The reason for this silence became painfully clear when her latest children's book, charmingly titled Flora and Fern: Kindness Along the Way, was unceremoniously pulled from shelves. A source confirmed the gravity of the situation. It's not been delayed, it's being pulped. It's an acknowledgement of the inevitable. No one is going to want to buy it. To have a book, a product meant to champion kindness and innocence, pulled and destroyed because of the author's toxic association with a convicted sex offender, is the ultimate professional humiliation. It signifies that her previous avenues of income generation have been shut down completely. The market, it seems, has rejected her until she can successfully cleanse her reputation. Therefore, the televised interview is no longer simply about revenge or a desire to speak her truth. It is now a fundamental requirement for her economic survival and the last remaining platform to repair her damaged name. Sarah Ferguson finds herself in an extraordinarily difficult position. Stripped of her title, removed from her charities, facing eviction from her home, and witnessing the destruction of her latest literary endeavor, she is cornered. The world is offering her a massive payout to break her silence, and in doing so, she has the chance to address the single most damaging element of her public life: the Epstein connection. The palace, now under the stewardship of King Charles and Queen Camilla, watches anxiously. They know that if she chooses to sit down with a major American network, or perhaps most dramatically with Oprah Winfrey, the revelations could eclipse even the drama caused by the Sussexes, given the seriousness of the underlying scandal. The question remains: can Sarah Ferguson, known for her occasionally impulsive nature and previous financial missteps, navigate this treacherous media landscape without falling into the same trap that doomed her ex-husband, Prince Andrew? Can she articulate her defense convincingly, or will the pressure of the moment lead her to reveal uncomfortable truths that damage the entire institution? This event certainly gives us much to reflect upon regarding the intense pressure placed upon those who marry out into the royal family, particularly when they are later cast out. Their silence is demanded, but their financial and emotional reality often makes that silence impossible to sustain. What are your thoughts on this monumental decision facing Sarah Ferguson? Do you believe she has been harshly treated, and does she deserve this chance to clear her name publicly, even if it means embarrassing the reigning monarch? Or should she remain silent out of respect for her daughters and the institution? Let us know your opinions in the comments section below. Your insights are always deeply valued. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next detailed celebrity update and royal expose. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.